Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Jessa Jeremiah.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we are back here at Wisconsin Granite.
And you can tell by the fabulous desk we're sitting at.
This is new. This is relatively new. This is actually the space that we normally film at. However, they've put something new here. So they've got some desks out here with some really great marble, which we're going to learn about later on in the show.
Yeah, did you know Wisconsin Granite did marble too? I feel like royalty sitting here at this desk, so we'll learn about that later in the show.
Yes.
We're also going to talk a little bit about carats. Now, do you know the 4 C's of diamonds? We'll quiz you.
Clarity, cut, and...
I just named one. Carat.
Oh, carat.
Color. We're going to learn
okay.
about that later in the show. And we're also going to talk a little bit about what to do in an emergency. So you don't want to wait until you have one to learn about how you can get help.
Acquire Restoration is going to join us, and it's coming up right after the break here in Wisconsin Family, so stick with us.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are here at Wisconsin Granite, sitting behind a beautiful marble desk that we're going to share a bit of information with you later in the show, so stick around. Right now we're going to talk a little bit about emergency planning. Now, you don't want to wait until you have an emergency to start dealing with it. And we're going to talk about that with Bill Lockwood, who is here from Acquire Restoration. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, a good topic to talk about because so many of us don't think in advance. And so I want to share a little bit with viewers at home, first of all, what Acquire Restoration does.
Well, essentially we provide mitigation services. We'll do cleanup and restoration, mostly for things like water damage, fire damage, but we also cover things like mold, smoke, odor control, biohazard spills, trauma scene cleanup, and other things. The list is pretty good of the specialty services we provide.
So all of the things that you just listed are things that businesses are probably unequipped to handle themselves, or homeowners, right?
Yeah, we provide those services to both the commercial and the residential properties throughout Wisconsin and Iowa.
Wow.
So yes, it's a specialized service that needs professional attention.
Absolutely.
And, this is a pretty big market, so there's other folks, we've heard of other folks who do the same thing that you guys do. What sets you guys apart?
Well, one of the things that I noticed when I came on board is the business model. It's conducive to having good productive growth, number one, but because of the business model, it allows us to have superior market coverage. Because we share our resources, there's less turnover, so we can invest more in the training and development of the people that we hire, and that's a big deal when you're out at a loss for fire or water damage.
I can imagine. And let's talk a little bit about that process of what happens when you have fire or water damage, or you even talked about mold or hazardous spill or something of that nature that we're so unequipped to handle. What kind of process do you take? Is there, I'm sure it's not a one-size-fits-all, but are there some basic rules?
Yeah, that's a great question. When a call comes in, we take a new loss report, an intake sheet, if you will.
Okay.
We take all the vital information about what type of a loss it is, when it occurred, what affected areas there are, and then we'll assign that to a project manager. The project manager will then go do a physical inspection of the property, and then we start mobilizing the proper, the crew size that we would need, the proper resources that would be required to get the job done. Once that work is complete, which can be a process that could be just 2 or 3 days, or it could be months and months depending on how large the loss is, we'll do a final inspection once that's all done, and then we have the customer sign off on a certificate of satisfaction that the work is finished before we close that file.
Oh wow, that's unique. So it's not you deciding that the work is completed, it's basically the customer saying,
oh yeah,
I believe this is done.
Wow, absolutely.
Great.
We want to make sure that everything is to their approval before we walk away from the job.
What a great approach to a business, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, switching gears just a little bit, we're in the cold winter weeks of February here, so do you find that there are different types of jobs that arise in the cold months versus in the summer? You
bet. Each season brings its own unique processes. Right now we're going through a lot of frozen pipes. You look at the snowbirds, if you will, that go south for the winter months, and they forget get to bleed their pipes, so a lot of pipes will burst. We're seeing when we had the mild weather, for example, last week, all the snow that we had in December melted off and ran into basements. There are also chimney fires issues. We'll see space heater issues, all things kind of specific to the winter. And then in the spring we have torrential rains and we have tornadoes. They all require different types of approaches to taking care of those losses.
Yeah, you're never at a loss for business based on what I'm hearing you say. The cold, torrential rain, tornadoes, I mean, it never ends.
Well, here in Wisconsin, it's basically recession-proof as long as you do a good job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's the key. It sounds like you're really tuned into that customer satisfaction. So I think that's important. And I want to kind of loop back to that, talking about customers and what they can receive. What kind of benefits or value do you believe that customers receive when they use Acquire specifically?
Well, the biggest thing is dollars and cents. Because we're not a franchise, we don't have the constrictions or restraints that franchise restoration companies have. We're not paying royalties, we're not paying franchise fees, we're not paying advertising costs. We're not restricted to buy our equipment through that company, so we can go out and source out the best prices for everything that we do, and that translates into a lower cost for the customers that we serve. So that's a big deal for us.
Yeah, very good. And obviously, as the consumer, we want those cost savings to transfer to us and not feel like we're paying for those extra things.
You mentioned earlier, Bill, that you serve southern Wisconsin, and I think you mentioned Iowa in there.
Yes.
Can you expand a little bit on what markets you serve?
Sure. We've been in business for 10 years. We started out in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and then we opened up an office in Kaukauna and our Madison office, which has been here for 5 years. And then we have an office in Waterloo, Iowa. The office here in Madison, I'm really proud to be associated with. In just 5 years, they've grown to have what I believe is the largest fleet of trucks serving the Madison, Wisconsin area. And so it really is something that I noticed right away when they explained how the business is conducted, that this was a company that was really a good one to be tied into.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing all that. So fire, weather, mold, you name it, who are you going to call? Now you know you can call Acquire Restoration, and this is Bill Lockwood who's joining us. Thanks for sharing your information with us.
Thanks for having me.
We have more Wisconsin Family for you coming up after the break. We're here at Wisconsin Granite, and please stay with us.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are filming on location at Wisconsin Granite. And joining us now is our good friend Jim from Jim's Coins in Hilldale. And so excited to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So this is Jim Essence, like I said, and every time you join us, we learn something new. I feel like we get excited because you bring your display out and we start picking at it like little kids. Can't wait to get in there. But what are we talking about today?
Well, today I'd like to talk about things to consider, and especially the lingo and the terms when either buying or selling gold or diamonds. Something pretty much every family might encounter at one point, either as gifts or, of course, the wedding day. Diamonds and gold. Pretty much every family will encounter that.
Yeah, it's an industry that you come across at some point in your life, probably multiple times. But you're right, there's a lot of lingo and things to know that are sometimes there's misconceptions involved, and it's a little bit of a learning process. So we'll learn today. So share with us.
Sure. Yes. Well, the first thing we could talk about is carat. A lot of people you hear the word, okay, 24 karat, 10 karat, a 3 carat diamond, a 1 carat diamond. What does that really refer to? It seems to be used in different ways. So I'll just start with that right there. Carat with a K refers to the purity of gold. And so it's kind of an antiquated system. 24 karat means 100% gold. And it's
my gosh, I didn't know that. Okay, so
yellow.
24 karat is all gold. There's no mixed metals in there.
That's correct.
I
Yes.
didn't know that. Okay,
Yes.
is anything on the table 24 karat that we have?
Yes, we got these bracelets. Usually Asian countries will go 22 or 24 karat, just because they like it that way. Most United States items are either 10 karat, 14 karat, or 18 karat.
Okay.
So for example, a 10 karat would be a little less than half gold. about 41% gold.
Why the difference in the, you said in Asian countries tend to go 22, 24, in America it's less?
Yeah, that's a good question. Europe also is same as US.
Interesting.
It makes it harder for one thing. In Asia, they don't make necklaces out of 24 because just the weight of the necklace will stretch it. And so
Interesting.
it is very soft, easily scuffed, damaged,
Right.
and
But
you
look
know,
how
so-
gorgeous. I was drawn to these right away because of how pretty that color is, and it just looks rich, and I guess pun intended, but it's really beautiful.
She
Right.
started talking like Gollum when she first saw it.
And you can kind of compare that to the color. Most class rings are 10 karat, and so it's a little bit lighter. But of course, you can't always tell by the color. For example, white gold, people say, well, what's the difference between white gold and yellow gold, the purity? 10 karat white gold and 10 karat yellow gold, exactly the same purity.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Okay.
and even 18, for example, this ring here is 18 karat white gold. And so it's three quarters gold, but it's still white.
Okay.
If you were to separate the other metals out of it, the other 25%, it would be pure gold, yellow gold, just like
Okay.
this.
I
So
see.
Okay. And what about, when we're referring to diamonds then, is it the same thing? Does it have to do with purity or?
no, diamond's completely different.
Okay.
Different thing. It refers to the weight with a C.
Oh, all right.
And so, just to give you an example, this diamond here is 1.74 carats. And when referring to diamond weight, if it's not a full carat, you do points. So a quarter carat diamond would be 25 points, 100 carat, 100 points to the carat. So gold and diamond carat, completely different things.
Wow.
Gold with a K, diamond with a C, and that's also ties into the 4 C's of diamonds: the color, clarity, cut, and carat.
Okay.
Carat would be the size. So just to go into a few things, just to introduce anyway what those are, the color of a diamond would be how, basically how white it is. But there are, for example, there's even black diamonds or pink diamonds that can be very valuable.
I was just going to ask that, yeah, because the value of a diamond, that's a big factor, right? How much color is in it, but yet then there are colored diamonds that have a lot of value. So
Yes.
that's interesting. It's either got to be very colored
Yes.
or not at all.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it
Wow.
how it goes. Yeah, even yes. And so usually they'll go A, B, C, D. A being absolutely white, which is really which really never happens basically. But up through G basically is colorless, and then it goes down from there.
Wow.
As far as how dark the diamond is. So so that's color.
Yeah.
Clarity is, if it's a natural diamond, it'll have oftentimes little inclusions, black specks of carbon and cracks and things like that. And so, so those are some things to keep in mind on diamonds. And then the third thing to keep in mind is
The cut, right?
Right, the cut. Yes, the cut would be right now the round diamonds are very popular, but they make square diamonds, marquee diamonds, pear-shaped diamonds, all kinds of diamonds. So a few things to keep in mind.
And the cut can have to do also with how much light is let in and how much it sparkles or brilliance.
Yes, how
too,
even
so.
it is. Yes,
Is there a
yes.
third type of carat by any chance, Jim?
Yes, there is. When coin collectors or when discussing coin collecting or diamonds, vision is very important.
Okay.
And so the third carat has to do with vision, and so I brought these here to illustrate that. We can enjoy these at the end. Here's the carat that has to
Don't
do
mind
with
if I
vision.
do. Well, thank you so much, Jim,
Sure.
for this lesson.
You're
A math
welcome.
lesson. We got some letters and numbers in there. We have it all. So, and of course, a snack at the end.
Right.
We'll be
Yes.
back with more Wisconsin Family. Go see Jim over in Hilldale at Jim's Coins.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Well, it's the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to talk here at Wisconsin Granite, not so much about granite, but a little bit about marble
Yes.
with Behar. Behar, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Good to
having
have
us
you guys
back.
here.
Yeah, always good to talk with you. So, We're
feel
sitting,
like
we're sitting
royalty.
at, we're sitting at a desk right now that's literally covered in marble. Tell us about what we're sitting in front of today.
So recently on the market, there's been a huge trend of white countertops,
Okay.
and with granite, you really can't get all the colors or a lot of white that you're really looking for.
Sure, yeah.
So we've actually went to Italy and been able to import a lot of this beautiful marble countertops that are a little bit lighter. That actually work a lot with modern kitchens. They work a lot with pretty much everything just because it's a very consistent white pattern that goes over it.
It's so beautiful. I love this piece. And white and gray are really the hot thing right now,
Yeah.
The
right?
trends right now,
So
yep.
you get both with this because there's just a little bit of accent gray running throughout this cute, beautiful piece.
Yeah, and so this is kind of the reason why somebody might choose marble over granite is because these are the colors that you can typically get in marble that maybe aren't so available in granite.
Exactly. That's really the main reason why people would go with marble.
Okay.
Being that it's a different material, it is a little bit softer, so we always encourage our customers, just to be a little bit more careful with it, just because it is delicate and it is very, very expensive, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of people take it just for the look of it,
Sure.
just because there's nothing that's comparable to it, whether in quartz, granite, or anything else that you look at.
I have never even thought about it for a desk either. What a unique idea. This is actually someone's desk here at Wisconsin Granite. So it doesn't just have to be for a countertop. What a stunningly beautiful place to work.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you guys import this directly from Italy.
Yep.
Your owner Ismail goes over and hand selects all of these things,
Correct.
these items.
That's
Very cool.
And then the customer gets to come in and really select their specific pieces too, right? Because they're not going to get, you're not going to see this piece and then you'll try and order something similar. When you see a piece, you get that
You get
exact
that piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why, specifically in this desk, like in the front, you'll see a lot of the busier pattern, and on top, where you don't see it as much, we went with something a little bit softer. So that's really the biggest advantage
Yeah.
of the customer coming here and picking out the exact stone that they want.
Yeah. What if they wanted this one? This is somebody's desk, and they just take this one?
They might be partial to it. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
You can come in and get this desk.
Can I just get that?
Exactly.
Don't ask for this one. That's really neat. Well, you guys have a lot of things that you're doing. Obviously, you guys are set apart from the competition in so many ways, and one of those ways is we just explained about being able to come in and select a specific piece. Anything else that you want to share on that note?
The main thing really that sets us apart is the amount of material that we have and how much we do direct imports from other countries. A lot of companies are using local suppliers here in the area, and with us, when we do direct imports, we're able to really lower this cost down. So it's very affordable for the customer.
There's no middleman, right?
There's no middleman,
You're
exactly.
essentially going directly there and then picking out the pieces. It doesn't then go to another retailer who sells it.
Yep.
You sell it right here.
Yep.
So there's no...
And then on top of that, we do all the fabricating and all the installation here in-house, so that way it makes things very, very convenient.
So you're getting some of the most beautiful pieces that I've ever seen at probably the lowest price
Yeah.
by
Exactly.
comparison to
Yeah.
anybody else in the area. Really
And
special.
you guys do great work. I mean, you've got on your website a number of really, really positive testimonials from folks who are just very happy with the work that you guys do, and so that's awesome. Do you have any specials going on right now that you want to share?
Right
with us?
now, honestly, we have this special that we kind of run continuously. It's a $39 special where we have more than 20 different colors of granite starting at that $39 price point.
Okay, and that's per square foot?
Per square foot.
Okay.
And one thing that we've also introduced is we've put some exotic colors into that $39 special. Mostly you would get something that's very, very basic in pattern. Now you're able actually to get something very exotic in that $39 special.
That's a really reasonable price. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised at how reasonable that really is. I mean, especially if you just have, something this size, that's not going to break your bank necessarily,
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we've also introduced financing for the past year. The 12 months interest-free financings that we have going on really does help out the customer in many ways.
Yeah.
A lot of times you have customers that say, hey, I want to do my kitchen, but I'm not ready for it. I'm going to wait another year. That
Right.
12 months financing gives them that opportunity to do it now,
Yeah.
live with it for that entire year, and make small amount of payments throughout
Yeah.
the year.
So nice. You want to be able to enjoy something like that in your home as long as possible. you're doing an upgrade. So many people sometimes wait until they're going to be selling their home or something, but you want to be able to enjoy it for yourself.
Right.
I think that's nice. And if you're doing it in large quantity, maybe you do your kitchen and bathroom and office. There might be a lot, so the financing helps. Let's talk a little bit about other materials. We have just a couple minutes left. Do you have marble and granite? Anything else?
We have marble, granite. We also do quartz. You know, a lot of people, you know, our name is Wisconsin Granite, but we do different types of quartz. Now, one trend that we have seen in the market is that a lot of these different fabricators and stuff, they started importing their own quartz and they put their own name on it. With us, we've strictly stuck to brands that we know their warranty is good, their quality is good, and stuff like that. So we always encourage our customers, you know, when we are bidding out quartz jobs or anything like that, to make sure that we're quoting material that is going to last you a long time, because a lot of people might import something from China or elsewhere,
Right.
but the material is just not good.
It's not backed up by that warranty.
And honestly, we've stuck with quartz companies that we know are good, that we know their warranties, we know that anything happens, they're there to cover us.
Very good. And talk a little bit about why somebody might select those materials over another. Like, are there durability things that might come with a quartz versus a marble versus a granite? If I have kids, you know, should I choose one or the other?
You know, honestly, quartz, as far as durability of it, because it's an engineered material, it's going to be the most dense, and it's going to be the most what's the word I'm looking
Strength
for?
or durability.
Yeah, it's going to have the more strength and durability
Sure,
that you're going to
yeah.
look for anything else. With us being that we work with it all the time, honestly, either marble, granite, quartz, it doesn't matter. It's very same material. As long as you're diligent with it and nice with it, and you don't try and hurt it or ruin it, you really shouldn't be able to ruin either one of them.
Right, and obviously there's a uniqueness factor that comes along with marble or granite because it's a true stone versus something that's manufactured is going to be very even looking across because it's been made versus this has all these unique sort of patterns and stylings.
Correct.
Very
And you also do a really good job, I've just noticed from the times that we've come here, that you do a really good job of educating your customers of how to take care of the stone that they have, which is interesting because, you know, my mother has granite countertops that were in her house when she moved in, and nobody, I mean, she had the house built and nobody gave her any idea. But you guys take the time to do that, so
It's very true.
so that it'll last as long as possible, which is awesome. So, yeah.
Thanks
Well,
for
Behar,
sharing.
thank you so much for sharing the information today.
problem.
Go on to their website. They've got a great website, and check it out. It's really pretty affordable to get granite countertops or marble desks.
Marble desks, yes.
So that's all the time we have for Wisconsin Family. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.